Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this explosive breakdown of one of the most talked about moments in daytime television history. The day Mel Gibson was unceremoniously kicked off The View following a viral exchange with the fiery Joy Behar. Picture this, it's a bustling studio in New York City, the hot lights beaming down on the iconic round table where the ladies of The View dish out their unfiltered opinions on everything from politics to pop culture. The date is October 15, 2025, just a few days before our current timeline, and the atmosphere is electric with anticipation. Mel Gibson, the rugged Australian-born actor who's conquered Hollywood with blockbusters like Braveheart and Lethal Weapon, has been invited to promote his latest directorial venture, a gritty historical drama titled Echoes of Valor, that's already generating Oscar buzz. At 69 years old, Gibson's career has been a roller coaster of triumphs and scandals, but today, he's here to reclaim some narrative control, perhaps even address lingering shadows from his past. The co-hosts, Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, Sarah Haynes and Alyssa Farah Griffin, are seated in their signature spots, sipping coffee and exchanging knowing glances. Joy, the outspoken 83-year-old comedian who's been with the show since its inception in 1997, adjusts her glasses and smirks, her sharp wit honed from decades of stand-up and political commentary. She's no stranger to controversy herself, having sparred with guests from Bill O'Reilly to Meghan McCain, but this time, the stakes feel personal. As the audience applauds Gibson's entrance, he strides in with that signature charisma, leather jacket slung over a crisp white shirt, his salt and pepper hair tousle just so, shaking hands with Whoopi first, who gives him a warm, if cautious, hug. The tension escalates faster than a plot twist in one of Gibson's action flicks, with Joy Behar launching into a full-throated critique that's equal parts righteous indignation and showbiz savvy. She's always been The View's resident provocateur, the one who doesn't suffer fools or reformed rascals lightly, and today, her target is locked. Mel, let's not sugarcoat it, she says, her voice rising an octave, gesturing emphatically with those expressive hands that have punctuated countless monologues. You spewed hate, anti-Semitism, racism, misogyny, and now you waltz back like it's all water under the bridge? Hollywood's got a short memory, but mine's elephantine. The audience gasps collectively, a wave of murmurs swelling like an incoming tide, some nodding in fervent support of Joy's unapologetic stance, others shifting uncomfortably, torn between admiration for Gibson's talent and revulsion at his history. Whoopi interjects smoothly, her moderator's instincts kicking in, "Joy honey, let's hear Mel out. He's here to talk film, not relitigate the past." But it's too late, the gauntlet is thrown, and Gibson, ever the fighter, picks it up with a fervor that recalls his Oscar-winning portrayal of William Wallace. He leans in, eyes flashing with that intense, almost messianic fire, and delivers a response that's as eloquent as it is defiant. "Joy, I've knelt in confessionals from Malibu to Rome, stared down my demons, and emerged not as a saint, but a man who's learned humility the hard way."
You colitate. Icolite à rock bottom moment fueled by addiction and danger.
Judge me by my actions now, directing stories of redemption, supporting veterans, raising kids who know better. The studio erupts, applause thundering from one side, boos rippling from another, turning the segment into a microcosm of America's polarized soul. Sunny chimes in, ever the bridge builder, but Mel, accountability means more than words, it's about amplifying marginalized voices. Coming back from commercial, the studio hums with unresolved energy, the house lights dimming slightly as if to contain the storm, but Joy Behar, undeterred, doubles down with the precision of a seasoned interrogator. She's channeling decades of experience, from her early days as a high school English teacher in New York to her breakout as a comic roasting sacred cows on The Tonight Show, turning the table into a courtroom where Gibson is both defendant and witness. Strength? Mel, real strength is owning the harm without excuses, she presses, her eyes locked on his, the camera capturing every micro-expression, the subtle twitch of his mustache, the furrow in her brow. The audience, now fully engaged, leans forward en masse, a sea of faces reflecting the nation's fault lines. Progressive millennials in the future is female tees clashing visually with older boomers clutching Gibson memorabilia. Whoopi, sensing the boil over, attempts levity. "Okay, before we all need therapy, let's talk about that epic battle scene in Echoes. Did you do your own stunts again?" Gibson chuckles, a deep rumble that disarms momentarily, recounting a grueling shoot in the Scottish Highlands where he dodged arrows at 69, but Joy circles back relentlessly. "Stunts are one thing, hurting people is another. You profited off Passion of the Christ while the Anti-Defamation League boycotted it for its portrayals." It's a low blow, dredging the 2004 film's controversy where Gibson's traditionalist Catholic lens was accused of perpetuating stereotypes, a charge he dismissed then as artistic license but now addresses with weary reflection. That film was my soul on screen, flawed, passionate, human. I've since dialogued with rabbis, built bridges where I burned them. The climax hits like a thunderclap, the studio transforming into a coliseum where gladiators of opinion clash without mercy, Joy Behar's barbs sharpening to a point that pierces Gibson's defenses. At this juncture, with the clock mercilessly ticking past the allotted time, Joy unleashes what will become the soundbite of the year. Mel, you're a talented poison, Braveheart brilliance wrapped in bigotry. We don't platform that here anymore. Her words boom through the speakers, amplified by the hot mic, and the audience fractures audibly, half rising in ovation for her unfiltered truth-telling, the other half booing vehemently, chants of let him speak. Clashing with Time's Up. Whoopi, the elder statesman at 70, pounds her gavel playfully. Whoa, ladies and gents, passion's what we do best, but let's cool it. Yet the die is cast. Gibson, face flushing under the lights, stands abruptly, his chair scraping like a challenge accepted. Platform? Joy, you've built a career on hot takes that divide. I'm just honest about my scars. It's a mic drop retort, his Australian lilt underscoring the defiance, and for a split second, the room holds its breath. Sunny, ever empathetic, reaches across. Mel, we hear you, growth is messy. But Joy, adrenaline surging, waves her off. Messy? It's toxic residue. The viral exchange peaks as Gibson, in a move straight out of his Mad Max playbook, grabs his jacket and heads for the exit, pausing at the table's edge to level Joy with a parting shot. Joy, may your mirror crack less than mine did. The audience explodes, applause crashing like waves, tears streaking some faces, laughter bubbling from others at the poetic burn. Producers panic in the booth, cutting to a hasty bumper as security ushers Gibson off stage, his silhouette vanishing behind the curtain amid flashing phone cameras from fans in the wings. In the frenzied hours following Gibson's dramatic exit, the world tilts on its axis, social media morphing into a digital arena where the viral exchange is replayed, remixed, and rehashed ad infinitum, Joy Behar emerging as both hero and heel depending on one's feed. By noon Eastern, the clip, courtesy of a savvy audience member's sneaky recording, has clocked 10 million views across platforms, algorithm gods at YouTube and TikTok propelling it to ubiquity with thumbnails screaming Mel Gibson explodes on The View. Comments flood in like a deluge. Joy spoke for all of U.S. survivors of hate. Hashtag cancel Gibson forever clashes with Behar's a bitter hag. Mel's a legend owning his growth. Hashtag boycott The View. Celebrities weigh in. Elon Musk retweets with a popcorn emoji, captioning truth bombs over coffee, while Gal Gadot, mindful of her Israeli roots, posts, accountability isn't optional. Kudos to Joy. Mainstream outlets pile on. CNN runs a panel dissecting redemption versus relapse in Hollywood, with pundits invoking R. Kelly's fall and Chappelle's specials as parallels. The View's official X account, usually a bastion of empowering memes, goes radio silent initially, then drops a measured statement. Passionate discussions are our hallmark. We appreciate all voices in the conversation. But behind closed doors, chaos reigns. Producers field calls from agents livid over the ambush, while ABC's legal team scans for defamation risks. Gibson's history a minefield of litigious potential. Joy, back home in her Manhattan apartment overlooking the Hudson, scrolls feeds with a mix of vindication and vertigo, her daughter Eve texting, "Mom, you went full gladiator, proud but worried." She's no stranger to backlash. Recall her 2018 Pence mental illness comment that sparked 30K FCC complaints, but this feels visceral, personal, as if she's punched a ghost from pop culture's attic.